Hello and welcome to the Dash podcast, episode 119. I'm Mark Mason and I'm joined by my fellow co-host and amigo, Joel Valenzuela. How's it going, Joel?
Fantastic.
Fantastic? Dash-tastic?
Yes. Dash-tastic. Dark-tastic?
Excellent. And this week, our special guest is Rodrigo Ambrissi. I was going to say Dash Brazil, but we need to stop saying that now because you are the CEO of EletroPay Global. How's it going, Rodrigo?
It's going great, man. I'm still Dash Brazil here, man. I still wear the Dash shirts on every single event I go. It's basically my uniform.
Still repping Dash, bleeds blue, repping it, making videos every day. You've got your hustle on. And thank you for coming on the podcast because you've been a busy bunny. Out the gate, I got a question. The word on the blockchain is that you're recording a new documentary video. Is that true? Yes or no? Please say yes.
Yes, it is true. I was invited first of all, once I hired Sabrina Coin, our news reporter, because I needed to have a female reporter on my channel. People were getting tired of me, basically. She managed to connect with the Swiss consulate in Brazil. And from there, we found out they're organizing a trip, bringing all the Brazilian investors to Switzerland to open crypto business there, because Switzerland is pretty much saying, hey, come to us, we'll give you everything you guys needed. So from there, they invited me to follow the Brazilian delegation going to Switzerland. So I went with them for a week where we visit a bunch of lawyers, startup crypto companies, incubators. Basically, the consulate brings them around and shows them where they can give them all the tools, right? About how to open a crypto business in Switzerland, because Brazilian regulations are pretty tough, especially with the few ones that just happened 2 weeks ago. And the same week, we had Crypto Valley. So I had in the back of my mind, I also got really close to the guys from Blockchain Propulsion, which is an incubator for crypto projects, and another company called 88 InsurTech, insurance company on the blockchain paying with crypto. So they pretty much introduced me to all the big dogs in Switzerland. One of them was the lawyer that did the Ethereum ICO. And I could not just go there and chat with people. So I had my camera ready and I recorded interviews from the beginning to the end. It's a documentary basically about Switzerland and the cryptocurrency revolution, how they're giving the support to crypto companies, where pretty much everywhere on the globe are saying, no, we hate you guys over there. They'll connect you to banks and lawyers and firms to make your project happen. About 35 interviews with top-notch business investors, bankers, people related to crypto. And I'm putting this in a sequence. I think it's going to be a very informative documentary. It's not going to be as powerful as the one in Venezuela or Colombia where you see mass adoption, but this is a different topic. It's a higher level. It's pretty much where the money is. Switzerland has the money, has the banking system. So I'm halfway done, probably another 3 weeks of traveling so much through events. But the title will be Cryptocurrency, Switzerland and the Cryptocurrency Revolution. Fernando is on it as well. We interview him. Fabio is on it as well. So stay tuned, guys, and a lot of important people as well.
Does that mean you visited the Switzerland Bitcoin embassy?
I was there for Andreas Antonopoulos meetup, where I actually bumped into Fabio by accident because I forgot to tell him I was coming over, and I know he's from Germany, but he was there, so we connect. Ended up getting him on video. Had a great talk with the guys over there. Got some interviews on that event as well, and also chat with Andreas Antonopoulos.
So this documentary is going to have a completely different feel to previous ones, where you've gone to a deep dive research investigation, where there's the focus really been on the users and merchants. When this is like a whole different angle, will do you think it will cater to the Dash community? Is there going to be like Dash content in there? Do you think people it's going to have that same traction? Because the first 2 documentaries you did, did fantastic and really grabbed everyone's attention.
Thank you. Yeah, it will be. I mean, Dash content there is a little bit, but I had to focus on Switzerland and more on the government and how the government is making it possible for crypto business to open their business. One of the examples is Libra. Libra is opening their headquarters in Switzerland, right? So it's a different level, and the documentary is more a interview type than just me babbling around what's happening. So you won't see me much, but you'll see important professionals talking about crypto.
And when can we expect to see this? How soon is it? Because I know there's a lot of editing work that goes into these.
Yeah, 3 weeks, maybe 2.
Wow. Okay. And are you going to translate this into numerous languages again like last time? Because that was a gargantuan task.
Yeah. Well, this one, if I translate, will be my voice over the whole thing the whole time. So I'm going to actually add subtitles, which is harder to add subtitles. It sucks to retype everything, but I'll put subtitles in Portuguese. Otherwise, you have someone from Switzerland talking, then my voice, and then another person talking, and then my voice, and then it makes pretty tiring.
Man, wow. So I was actually unaware that you had this documentary going on. It's only someone mentioned it to me the other day, and I was just like, really? Oh, that sounds interesting. I had no idea that you'd been visiting, Europe and elsewhere. So that's fantastic. So while we're talking about traveling and you visiting, doing your Dora the Explorer impression, I see from your Twitter feed that you've been going to a lot of conferences recently, cryptocurrency, blockchain conferences, numerous ones. They seem to be mainly in Brazil. So can you just tell us what you've been up to recently? Because you've been at so many conferences. I find it hard to keep up to date with what you're doing. You're always on the move.
I'm actually in Brazil right now. I just hosted an event yesterday called Blockmaster. About 2,000 people present. I had my presentation about Dash, about the documentary in Venezuela, Colombia, all the other communities. Plus, they gave me a whole table studio to conduct interview with major players. I met Rafael. He was hired by Dash Latam. He was also there, and he's going to be starting doing the groundwork, going business to business, the same as they did. So George is the one in charge of this project in Brazil. And they will use my channel to broadcast everything that's happening on the ground. Tomorrow, I'm going to be the MC for the entire conference for an event called Beat São Paulo. It's an event for 400 people. It's organized by one of the largest YouTuber, which is a big fan of my channel. I have other YouTubers watch my channel, and he wanted me to be the MC and also talk about Dash during the event. I've been doing about 2 events per month. I don't think I'm gonna make any events in September because of the price of Dash dropped almost 50%, I think over 50% now. So whenever I get the funds from my proposal now in 2-3 days, I'm just gonna do the video production, but no money to spare for traveling. But hopefully October or November, we'll make it happen.
Excellent.
Wait, you actually get paid to travel?
I know, amazing, huh?
Every single time I've gone to a conference in the last year, I've had to pay it out of my own salary and pocket. So, yeah, technically it should be probably, but it's just like, well, can we? Nah, I got to keep it tight. Let's not ask for more money, and as a courtesy to the rest of the network, so everyone can get funded. We've all been hunkering down and making sure that we only spend what we absolutely need to. And as part of that, it's enabled me to do kind of batch a work, do like a workcation, kind of make a vacation out of it too. Be like, I guess I'm just spending my personal income on travel for vacation. Oh, and I have some work to do over there.
Yeah. Well, this shows how Dash has been growing, even though we're in a bear market for the past 12 months, right? And other communities just became dust because they just basically disappear, and we are growing on the worst time possible. So this shows the strength of the community.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's funny because a lot of people, I had a kind of funny idea with the Dash conference, the Dash convention coming up end of September, dashconvention.com, show up. It's going to be amazing. And I'm even wearing my Swiss shirt in anticipation of the thing. So
nice.
I was kind of thinking about the conference because first when it was announced, we should let's do it this year in a month or two. I was thinking like, come on, market's terrible. Everyone's going to like, how are we going to find the money for this? Is this really the best time? Evolution is not fully out yet. People are just, this is going to be like the death of us. And then more importantly, it was like, let's do a proposal. I was like, oh no, it's just not going to work. People aren't going to pay for a conference right now. But it all worked out fantastic so far. I mean, that conference hasn't taken place, but the community really pulled together, got a bunch of sponsors, got a proposal passed, and it's looking like it's going to be epic. And it's a sign of strength in the darkest of times, according to some others. So I think that's very exciting.
Yeah, and you're attending as well, right, Rodrigo?
Yes, hopefully I'll be there too as well. I'm gonna bring all my video gear and record video in English for everybody who wants to whoever is gonna be present. I mean, it can be for my channel, for anybody's channel. I'll bring my whole portable studio, and then it'll be awesome.
Yeah, we need your technical expertise. Yeah, because those that follow the Dash Treasury, there was a proposal in the last cycle that's just recently completed for the Dash Convention Europe. And I think included in that funding is part of Rodrigo, because we need Rodrigo's experience on the ground interviewing people. We're going to have Cointelegraph and some other journalists there, but we need an internal Dash media person as well to speak to some of the partnerships and really, I guess, even perhaps document the first community Dash event on record. So exciting times.
And talking about Cointelegraph, Ezequiel Gomes, which was our reporter in Brazil, he was the official translator of Dash. He was the Dash Brazil news writer. Well, he had to leave our channel because he just got hired by Cointelegraph, which I'm happy for him. But so he's gonna be writing news for Cointelegraph in Portuguese for Cointelegraph Brazil, which they have, I think, 6 new hires. It's been pretty good. Excellent.
Well, one thing I really want to highlight, because myself and Joel at Dash News, that is great time to be in Dash because there's just so much news. We're having to cherry pick what to do because there's so many integrations and partnerships. But I have noticed a trend recently with yourself that I believe this must be due to you attending all these conferences, because you've been involved in a lot of business development work. Just from the top of my head, there's been a few exchanges recently that the whole integrations really has been kickstarted by you initiating talks. So just want to give the community a bit of background, because I think the community is not really aware of this, and I think they should be, because you're a great ambassador for Dash. So just want to talk about some of the exchanges and biz dev work you've been doing and networking at these conferences.
Well, this didn't really happen overnight. It's been 2 years that I've been presenting proposal, all of them being approved always, which I'm very thankful to the master nodes for that. And the main goal was to create, I came from a television background. So I created a news TV station in a professional way, Dash Brazil. So everybody wants to be in the channel to talk about blockchain, crypto, and of course, Dash. And that's the hook for me to say, hey, if you don't have Dash yet, but if you add Dash, you have free marketing on my channel. If I go to the event, I'll interview you. I'll make some reviews of your platform, your payment system, or exchange, especially exchange. So Rossello Lopez, which is a huge partner of Dash Brazil, he's the guy who likes to argue and debate. So we came up with the debate format where we bring all the CEOs of all the exchanges from Brazil, even the ones that don't have Dash, which is fine. Come to the channel, let's talk crypto. It's been a success. Because of that, all the other CEOs wanted to be part of the discussion. It's called Dash Decentralized Debate. We do it once a week, or almost once a week, once I'm not traveling. And from there, I managed to actually be in contact with all the CEOs. So we managed to implement instant send in one exchange already, add Dash into other exchanges. Now, Kamani, which you guys also broadcast and news recently, payment system that you can pay any type of utility bill with Dash. Probably in another 2 weeks, we're going to announce 2 more exchanges adding instant send in Brazil, allowing arbitrage to be a way more powerful tool for the users as well. And we have two other exchanges that have been talking to add Dash. Ernesto has been working with Dash Brazil nonstop as well. Give me all the information I need regarding the implementations, integrations, and also giving all the marketing once this is done, and say, hey, this is done, let's go, and go ahead and let's broadcast to the network and to the world that this is what's happening in Brazil. So it's being a good, very healthy partnership.
Excellent. And there was a Brazil exchange as well, I think we recently reported on, that I think you helped on board. The name escapes me, but I think that was in the last month or so. But like, we should give a shout out to Ernesto, because he normally reaches out to me and Joel, especially in the last month, saying, hey guys, Rodrigo's got another one. And then he helps give us a few pointers, and then we go from there for, get some quotes and things like this. So I hope you continue to do this, because there are a lot of DFOs, and this is why I'm so happy about the Dash European Convention, is because a lot of the biz dev integrations, partnerships, and developments is coming from the DFOs all around the world. And this is why it's important to have those grassroots efforts in these different regions. Yeah. And it's not a case, and we're actually unifying, we're pooling resources and working with each other, especially when these opportunities arise, and we're making it work. So how's your experience been, like working with Ernesto and onboarding? Do you just feel like you can open up the door, pass it on? Obviously, then Ernesto speaks to us when it's ready to be announced, and then we do our part. But everything works together, like in sync. It's really good.
Yeah, it's interesting because, for example, in like Ernesto, Ryan, they're in absolutely no position in telling me what to do. They're also proposal owners, but yet we all work together and we make this happen. I mean, I'm constantly calling Ernesto or leaving messages on WhatsApp. He messages me constantly, at least 2-3 times a week, about possibilities, partnership. Another one that I'm already almost 100% close, which I can talk about. It's the Blockchain Academy in Brazil. They offer courses on Bitcoin, on Ethereum. And now we're working to promote them on the Dash channel, Dash Brazil channel, because they got to actually get a group of developers to start creating a course for developers to create dApps for Dash. So, and even
rewind. So, is this a video series? Is this going to be taught at universities? This sounds really exciting. Well, tell me more.
Yeah, it's called the Blockchain Academy Brazil. They teach Bitcoin, Ethereum developers. So we're going to be working on a course, a specifically focused course for developers to create dApps for Dash.
Is this going to be online course, or is it going to be
physical?
It's
an online course, both.
Oh.
And then we're going to actually broadcast this on the channel as well. I spoke with the owner, which I actually talked to her a few times on other previous events, interview her. So we developed a relationship in the past 2 years with hundreds of people. And once they see how powerful Dash Brazil has been on the channel, plus all the conferences, and comparing to all the other projects, Dash, we're still here. All the other projects, like several projects are disappearing now on the worst time possible. We're growing on the bear market, which is awesome. So people want to join us.
Excellent. And also as well, I'm guessing you're going to be networking and get as much info as possible. But 2 of the keynote speakers at the Dash Convention Europe is Ivan, who is a Dash platform developer, and also Dana, who is the product owner for Dash platform. And they will be doing a presentation with the latest and greatest. So I'm sure you're going to be whispering and chewing off their ear, trying to get as much information as possible for this online course. Yeah. So that's fantastic. Right, okay. Now, this is the fun stuff, because I had no idea about it. I don't even know if you want to drop this straight away, if we can just talk about the POS, because you are the CEO of EletroPay. And we've seen prototypes. You've been on the podcast previously talking about it and the progress. It's been this massive journey of discovery, because you're building something from scratch up onwards. And you showed me something for the podcast I've not seen before. Do you want to talk about the POS solution first and the progress and where you are right now? Or do you just want to drop the bombshell and just show everyone what you've been up to?
Let's talk about the POS. So the POS, the countertop, the tabletop one is ready, right? We are actually building right now 2,000 units for 3xBit in Brazil, which was our first client. We didn't open to sell this to anybody else yet, because we need to test those. We have 10 units up and running in Brazil as we speak. Yesterday, we had some 5 units come from China, from our factory in China, with our surprise, which I'm going to show you guys in a few seconds. So it's fine. And then we also, the handheld units that we have as well, which it looks like a credit card machine. No credit cards accepted, only crypto. We can run Dash, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, any other ERC20 token. It's basically an Android app running on a hardware. That's as simple as that. So we created an API which enables our server to talk to any exchange who is willing to create the code lines to talk to our API. So basically, each merchant will be able to receive crypto. The funds goes straight into the merchant's account inside that exchange, and it's liquidating to fiat right away. It depends on the country. We gotta deal with the fees. In Brazil, we can charge 2 to 3% fee. In Canada, we cannot because it's a pretty high fee. It's not a competitive fee. Other countries we are studying. We also closed a partnership with another exchange in Canada where they'll be receiving 10 units for prototype in the next few weeks. It's called Coin Nerds. One of the owners of Coin Nerds, it's a huge Dash community member, Mr. Hack. So I was just in Toronto 2 weeks ago at Futurist conference, show him the final prototype. They love it. So they're finishing their exchange as well. So as soon as possible, we got to have another integration, EletroPay, in Canada. For Brazil, the CEO of 3xBit, he's in talks with the, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which he's not going to be the one promoting the POS units. It's got to come from the Chamber of Commerce. So they're going to implement the first 2 crypto cities, 1,000 units on each city already on associate members of the Chamber of Commerce. So they're creating a whole educational program, how to receive crypto, how they can liquidate straight into fiat into 3xBit exchange. So this is happening very soon. EletroPay, as we know, doesn't happen very fast. We add multi-coin possibilities because having one POS that accepts only one crypto, that makes no sense. Nobody's got to buy 2 POS, one for each crypto. So we had to change the game. We had to add Wi-Fi connection, SIM card connection, NFC connection, and most important, are you guys ready? This is the time. I want to see some drill room for ba 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 ba. This is gonna be the EletroPay NFC card, right? So because the units, which I have a whole bunch here, those are the ones that came straight from our headquarters in Shenzhen, China. So basically, each unit is also an ATM machine. So if the local bar has our POS, and you come to the bar and say, hey, can you sell me $100 in Dash? The manager will have to come over to the POS, authorize the POS for the OTC function, type a password, and print the private key. He receives the cash, gives away the private key, and off he goes. So each unit will be automatically a point of sale for crypto as well. And because of that, we also are in advanced talks with a company in Las Vegas. They have about 4 ERC tokens specialized for crypto cocktail, beauty salons, massage, and tattoo and entertainment, which they're going to be placing an order very soon for a couple thousand units as well with the OTC function. We're in talks with another cryptocurrency project as well who wants a few units. They already be receiving one prototype very soon. Our main website will be launched in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I want to do something before the Dash convention, but there's so many things happening. But stay tuned for some cool, interesting futures. And the cool thing is also the merchants will be able to have those cards over there. So if the person never heard about Dash or any other crypto and wants to buy crypto, the merchant can load crypto into the cards and give them the card and say, hey, here, there's one Dash here. You can exchange on our exchange that are partner or on any other POS available, or you can just hold the crypto inside the card and let it the price go up, and then you can try to make some money off it as well.
Man, we need to unpack this, right? Because you just said so much. We need to really break this down. So Joel, I'm just looking at these cards and they look amazing. There's loads of different designs. I'm guessing you can't put the Dash logo on it, but let's just keep things really simple. So I can see you've got the 3x bit. So what's the relationship with the 3x bit? I want to learn more about the user experience, but also how these cards work in a real world scenario.
Well, 3x bit was our first client. We had a 3D printed prototype last November in a conference, which was halfway working, no integration with exchange. The CEO saw it. He loved it. He's like, I want to buy it. I want to buy your company. I'm like, we're not for sale. We're not even a company yet. So he wanted to place an order. I'm like, listen, it's got to take us 6 months to develop, which took us 8 because we had so many functionalities. And so he's like, I want to buy 2,000 units. So we closed a partnership, and we've been developing and manufacturing this as we speak. So Sinclair, the owner of 3xBit, he's such an entrepreneur that we also invited him to manage the operations of EletroPay in Brazil. I'm not in Brazil. I can't be there. And he's well connected with a bunch of business commerce chambers, startup companies. He had a startup himself. He was very successful. He sold it for a couple $1 million, dive headfirst into crypto. He bought a 5-star building in Sao Paulo and set up 3xbit.com.br, right? So it's been a huge partnership with him. So he's managing the EletroPay operations in Brazil, integrations, partnership, distribution of the units. So the cards, so each unit will have one card. For example, if the owner of the business wants to sell crypto back, he can leave the unit with his employees. So the employees will not be able to sell crypto back to any clients, only if the manager authorizes with his card, right? It's just a key card to authorize the mini OTC function on the units. But they also got to have a stack of cards that if anybody wants to buy, for example, I want to give my friend 0.5 Dash as a gift. He can go there, load 0.5 Dash into the card and give the card as a gift. It's a small little gift thing that you can use, that you can be able to trade. And there's some really cool designs. The cards cost $1. You know, it's not really expensive. The designs, we got our graphic designs to make all of them. So
can we have a Dash design one, or is that going to get you in trouble?
No, we can't have a Dash design one. 3xBit made those designs, right?
What about a Stay Dashy one?
Yes, can we have one that just is simple, like black card with just this image on it?
Yeah,
just
send me the mock-up and I'll make one. Send me the mock-up and I'll make one. Yeah.
Okay, well look,
fantastic.
Look, I want to. This is amazing, but I still have so many questions. So for these cards to work, they have to have the EletroPay POS solution. So the merchants that have these devices need to purchase the cards to have a stack, and they cost them about $1 each, right? But the merchants are kind of incentivized to kind of encourage people to purchase crypto because obviously they get a kickback, right? That's the business model, right? Yep. Have you had any response from merchants like reaching out, or is this still in its infancy?
So that's where Sinclair comes in. The guy is such a beautiful entrepreneur. So running from his exchange, he ended up buying a dollar store. I don't know if you guys know what a dollar store is, right? A store that any type of plastic crap made in China is $1.
Yes.
So
he bought in the UK, Mark?
They're called it's called Poundland.
Poundland. That sounds a little. That sounds like something you'd expect to see on a fork of spank chain, though.
So he bought a store in front of his exchange, right? 2 stores. One's gotta be a dollar store that accept crypto only, no fiat. Right beside the dollar store, there's an exchange, a physical location where you can go there and buy EletroPay card or buy crypto to spend at the dollar store, right? But at the same part, this exchange is just like a training academy hub for people that don't know anything about crypto. You want to buy something on that store? Sit down. Let me give you a fast crash course into crypto. You buy this thing, you pay over there. off you go. So it's a training project. It's a prototype. So the store should be up and running the next month. A fully operational exchange where you can buy any type of crypto. Basically, a physical OTC desk, right? You show up with cash, you give the guy, the clerk, you get crypto right away, or you buy the NFC card, right? If you don't know much about crypto, there will be someone there to teach you the basics, walks with you to the store and say, hey, you can purchase like this. I'll show you an example, and off you go. So it's a prototype of an academy teaching business how to deal with crypto. On his exchange, you can also buy dollars with reais, or you can buy euros. It's gonna be like a normal exchange place as well.
Man, this is so cool. Now, I noticed you used a bit of terminology earlier, and I don't know if this was because of regulation-wise. I know previously when we had you on the podcast, you mentioned about exchange functionality in the POS device. But when you were talking about the cars, you said like they're similar to like an ATM. Because I think one of the questions people had with regards to the POS, well, when it comes to merchants selling crypto in like an exchange thing, is there going to be regulation issues on that? Are merchants going to be allowed to do that? Is this getting into dangerous water? So is that why taking the card approach, it kind of gets around that issue? Or am I thinking too much into it?
No, you're absolutely right. So while I was in Switzerland, we stopped in Liechtenstein as well. That's where we're opening our business. First of all, we're going to need a hardware, which we already have a hardware license, right? We're a hardware company. So we make hardware. We do not hold custody of people's funds. We do have our if someone buys our handheld unit directly and doesn't want to connect it to any exchange, they will be able to use our web wallet. So he can load a crypto into the web wallet and sell crypto using the machine, which prints a receipt. You can customize. People still want the little receipt paper, believe it or not. So from there, we're applying for a fintech license, which is on the works, because we're a financial technology company, which later we will need a ATM license for some specific business as well.
Awesome. Joel.
But European regulations, and especially Liechtenstein, is the place to be, which while I was there, I met someone that actually I met in person finally after 2 years talking, a huge fan of my channel, which he lives right there at Flamir. He founded Dash Switzerland as well. So we co-founded the Liechtenstein hub, where we're helping startup companies to go to Liechtenstein and Switzerland and showing them, hey, listen, you'll be able to come over here. We show you all the banks. We talk to Freak Bank, which is a bank where you can open a bank account and deposit Bitcoin and liquidate into Swiss francs or euros. Right? There's other banks in Switzerland that allows you to do the same thing. And Liechtenstein sits on a very key location because they're not part of the European Union, the same as Switzerland. So you can deal with Swiss francs and also euros, money wire to Hong Kong in order for us, for example, to pay suppliers and things like that. So it's a whole global structure that I've been working on this for the past almost 1 year now. That's been taking a lot of my time. And the Dash Brazil channel is being extremely successful because people come to us because of the professional quality of content, integration with Exchange, and we just pretty much close the circle into one ecosystem.
Excellent. Now, the big question, because you mentioned Canada, you mentioned Brazil with regard to the POS, but what Joel wants to know is, will this work in the United States of America?
Yes, it will. So this project that we're talking from Las Vegas, they are in connection with 2 exchanges. They are small exchanges, which if they allow us to connect our server via API to them, right? If we connect our EletroPay to them, they will provide the fiat liquidity. We don't deal with credit cards, banks, or fiat. All we do, we process the payment, we send to the exchange. They have the solutions, the license for fiat liquidity. And then from there, I reach out to 2 major exchanges globally. They never reply to me because I guess I'm not that important. So we're going with small and medium-sized exchanges, which is fine. I mean, the hardest part of this business is I've been offered a lot of opportunity, and growing very fast is very dangerous. And because too much happens at once, there's information coming from all directions. If you don't know how to filter this, you can get yourself in trouble. We managed to have a very professional lawyer who opened over 20 crypto business in Switzerland. So he knows what he's doing. He gave us all the documentation in preparation for this. So we're in the good hands. We're a hardware company so far.
So Joel, you're an activist for Dash. You've onboarded many merchants. You must have questions, right? Because if you were, let's role play. So if Joel's out and about on the street, evangelizing Dash, reading from the Book of Duffield, and he wants to onboard a merchant with your solution, how would he go about that? Because he has to hook up the merchant with you. So I guess we need to talk about how to acquire the POS device, and then establishing that connection in case the merchant wants to acquire some cards. And then there's the educational aspect. Have you thought about this workflow yet? Or perhaps you're open to working with people within the community to help spread this out globally, worldwide? How's this going to work?
We already have the business plan set. That actually was my main job, was to do the business. I'm not a dev, so I was in charge of the business plan. So basically, well, for you to have an idea on numbers, for the 2,000 units that we're making right now for 3x beat, right? I'm actually going to post some pictures of all the materials. We had to buy 800 kilos of aluminum to make the base of the unit. But buying 800 kilos of aluminum is almost cheap as buying 100 kilos. So the more we buy, the cheaper it is. So today we can make the Dash EletroPay units, right? The countertop for $100 plus shipping. But on the website, it will be available to buy a single unit. But if we make 1,000 units, we can sell for $100, right? If we want to sell individually, we have to actually do a slow production, slow order of materials. And some Chinese factories, they don't like this. They don't want to stop their normal production to customize our needs for 10 units. They want to do a bulk. So that's the main challenge that we found out on the fly, right? So, but we're gonna open on our website. It's gonna be available on the website for you to buy one unit, right? It's gonna be more than $100. So I can let everybody know that right away. We don't have a final price for that yet. And automatically you have, if your country, which most of the countries we don't have partnerships yet, doesn't have an exchange integrated, you have access to our web wallet. Our web wallet is only for EletroPay customers. It's not for everybody. It's not an open web wallet. You have to register with us, create a two-factor authentication, then you have access to our web wallet. We don't want everybody leaving hundreds of thousands of crypto in our web wallet. We don't want that responsibility, right? But you'll be able to receive funds on any place in the world into our web wallet, into your own account. You can also use the web wallet for the mini OTC function. We got to put limits. We don't want nobody doing transactions of 10 Bitcoins, 1,000 Dashes on our web wallet. There will be a limit. You want to do, 1 Bitcoin, 100 Dashes, something like this, because we don't want that responsibility, right? But every unit will allow you to have access to our web wallet, which will allows you to receive. So the merchant can just put the EletroPay on their business and forget about it. The funds will go straight to his web wallet. From there, he can withdraw to an exchange he wants if it's not integrated yet. And he also can leave some crypto there in case someone wants to buy crypto directly from our units on his countertop.
Okay, let's play good cop, bad cop, because I often play the role of Dash cheerleader, but Joel's really good at being super critical with that investigative journalist brain of his. So Joel,
that's one of the most poetic ways I've heard you call me an asshole.
Yeah, but Joel, because let's keep it balanced. Do you see any pitfalls in this? Are there any questions that you see where you're thinking, we need a bit more explanation on that? Because
so I'll start by just with the caveat that I might ask stupid questions, but stupid questions needs simple answers. And if simple answers aren't there, that usually means there's not enough understanding yet, or there aren't good enough answers yet. So first off, I'm a business. Let's just say I run a small coffee shop that has alcohol as well for like evening things and some food items. And it's kind of like, it's a small cafe. Someone says, oh, you should just take this EletroPay thing. You should take this into so you can accept Dash and a bunch of cryptos. Why? First off, what's your pitch to me? Why would I accept this? What does it do? What does it do for me that I use Square? I use a Square point of sale system. I get the card swiping. My customers are okay. I get cash for when they don't have cards. Everything seems to work fine for me. So why are you talking to me?
Well, first of all, what I experienced in Venezuela and Colombia, which works for now, is printing a QR code. As simple as that. It doesn't cost you anything. But very soon, people will find out, we're still a very small crypto community in the globe. They'll find out that you can track how much that business receives on that QR code, unless you print a QR code every day. Also, another problem that I faced while experiencing paying with crypto daily was you go I went to a burger shop. The girls, they had a broken cell phone that belongs to the owner, but still could see the QR code to receive funds, right? So what's the catch there? As a business owner, are you gonna buy a cell phone or a tablet just for your cashier to accept crypto? Are you gonna trust her with her phone and then she sends you the funds later? Or every time she has to call you, or him has to call you to go there so you can put your phone out of your pocket and receive the funds if you don't want to print, right? Which also, believe it or not, having a receipt speeds up the process into lines, because you can pay, grab the receipt, and retrieve your order in the end of the line and in the end of the queue, and the other side of the bar, the supermarket or whatever. Like one of the examples I saw now was a bunch of food trucks in the event yesterday. They had a cashier just selling with fiat, no credit cards, and then she gave you a receipt. You give to the guy in the food truck, he gets your order out. So those are the main things. So that's why we're trying to make a product that is as cheap as possible, right? With a low cost as possible, $100. You leave on the countertop and you forget about it. You have to do an installation process, open a wallet, integrate with the exchange. It will take about 15 minutes. You do it once, the funds go straight into the exchange, liquidates into fiat if you want or not. It goes straight into your bank account right away.
Yeah, so what are the fees like for start to finish? Is it a percentage? Is it a piece and then a percentage? Is it just a single piece?
Yeah, well, for example, in Brazil, as we are the most advanced with EletroPay expansion, for example, a credit card company in Brazil would charge you 7% if you want your money in 24 hours.
Ooh.
Right? So we can charge 3% and get your money into your bank account in 10 minutes. Because the exchange will provide that liquidity. In Canada, on the other hand, they have a debit card that charges 10 cents per transaction. I think it's a government-approved credit card. I don't remember how they explained to me much. But again, so in situations like this, maybe we sell the hardware more expensive, so we can charge a service of using the web wallet. So each area, that's the challenge of a global operation. So we're actually implementing Brazil. That's why we didn't open for any other client yet globally, because we want to master one region first. And from there, say, okay, this is working, this is not. So let's grow to another area. But we've had hundreds of requests for other areas already.
Excellent. This is really cool. I do have one really simple question though.
Yeah.
So say I come visit Brazil and wow, there's one of these amazingly, beautifully aesthetic EletroPay devices, and it's got the glowing light on it because it's a really unique looking device. Dash accepted here. I absolutely love it. I don't know if you've got one handy. I know you're at Brazil at the moment.
It's home in the US, yeah.
I encourage you to follow Rodrigo on Twitter, because he occasionally does play. Actually, EletroPay has its own Twitter account as well now. Yeah, it's had one for a while.
At Pay Eletro.
Yeah, they're beautiful devices. So I come into a merchant, I'm absolutely captivated by this device, and I'm like, this looks really interesting. I've got to do this. And the merchant's like, hey, do you want to buy, not just pay with crypto, do you want to buy some crypto as well? And I'll be like, yeah, I'll take one of those Stay Dashy looking cards. So then I buy $100 worth of Dash on one of these cards. Now, I leave then Brazil. Can I only spend Dash on EletroPay devices with that card? Or can, with that Dash I got on that card, how do I extract it off so I can use it elsewhere?
Yeah, you have to spend on the EletroPay devices.
So is there any way I could go online, like worst case scenario, if I was a tourist on holiday, could I like log into the free XBit exchange and then claim it back or transfer it? Because I think that might be something worth exploring as a positive feedback loop, just in case.
Well, the beautiful of NFC technology is that our Dash wallet has NFC technology on the Apple phones. You just have to turn it on, right? But then there's the cryptography in between what we use, what they use, and that's where the communication gets handy. It's a matter of integrating with normal apps, Dash Wallet, for example, Edge Wallet, they'll be able, or any other wallets, they'll be able with your phone to go ahead and, you know, tap and scan the NFC, because every phone has NFC technology. This is just a simple NFC card. You scan, and but then to write the codes to make those two-part talks that we need to develop. So we need some major wallets say, hey, we want to partner with you guys, and then you can buy crypto in Brazil, but you can also redeem in our wallet anywhere you are.
Wow. So okay. So on the roadmap further down the line, you may be able to use that card to use on other POS devices out and about. I mean, that, of course, conversations and developments need to happen, but that's something you're looking into doing, and you're open to those conversations. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, NFC technology lets you transact beautifully in a very secure and safe way. Every phone from the past, 4 or 5 years has NFC on it. The same as a lot of those cards. So, but to make it talk, it's the same as if you go buy a wheel. You can buy a wheel for your car. I mean, if you buy a wheel that fits on a truck, it's not gonna fit in your car, but it's a wheel, you know. But you have to have the right size, they have a measurement, you know, they have the right type to make sure it fits.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I want to get one of these cards because, like, it, in some ways, it reminds me of a previous proposal that never came to fruition. It was a Festi. In fact, I still got one of their cards. They had an NFC card set for, I believe their business plan was that they was hoping to have Lamasu like ATMs, which was very expensive to put in each location, which I think is why part of the reason it never came to fruition. But you'd use these Festi cards at these locations to top up and then spend, but it was all like inclusive, right? And I think the idea was to have an app so you could withdraw and take stuff off. However, like, we never got to that stage. For me, it's interesting because I do think we are moving more towards a cashless payment solution. So for me, it's going to be interesting because I haven't really seen the card angle really take off yet, but why the market is so heavily dependent on speculation, and we're trying to push utility. And there are some people, as we see in Venezuela and certain countries, using cryptocurrency payments, especially Colombia as well, more recently, flying the flag right now for Dash. Yeah, I'm kind of just curious to see, because I do think it'll be on a region basis, because, you know, for example, in Venezuela, right now, it's still bundles of cash. Like every day, your documentary perfectly explained the situation. It's like up and down constantly. You know what it's going to get. So a card to them could be extremely useful. But only time will tell on that. One of the things that Joel is really passionate about, and he mentioned recently on the podcast, was he went to visit a venture capitalist firm. And we love Dash, right? We're all geeks, we're all nerds, we're crypto, so we're all a little bit weird, a bit geeky. So we were like, oh yeah, you know, it's instantly confirmed, instantly respendable, amazing. And you know, the one thing that they were most amazed by and blown away by? Dash text. So would you be open to SMS transactions and things like this? Or is that just completely off the cards, off the table?
No. We talked to Lorenzo, actually, from Dash Text Venezuela about 6 months ago. He said it is possible to integrate Dash Text into EletroPay, but we never actually pursued this way yet because we had so much on our plates that we needed to finish first, because There's the multi-coin process to reprogram everything. How to create flexiglass to be able to be touch screen, so we don't have to buy a LCD color screen that's going to increase in $50 the cost of the POS. And then adding the NFC technology, and then design and programming the NFC chip cards into the EletroPay, and then the handheld units, which we actually copy a few units we saw around, but we had to remove the Visa credit card magnetic black strip out of the POS, because if we have that, we need lots of license, because then we're operating a credit card unit. We don't operate a credit card unit. We're basically selling an Android phone on a big case, right, with a printer on it. So we are a hardware company. So things like this that we had to learn takes a lot of time, a lot of lawyer fees to understand how to make a business that we can open up and not get in trouble. Like, I don't want to name other crypto projects that just got flagged by the the SEC in the US, got fines and things like this because they're doing crypto. So we are extremely cautious about creating a business where we don't do custodial holding, we don't hold people's funds, we don't hold or we don't keep any people's information. We make hardware that connects it to the exchange, and the exchanges are in charge of doing fiat liquidity. We don't want to get into fiat liquidity at all, KYC, any of that on any country.
Excellent. Joel, there's a comment in the live chats.
Oh, no.
All I can say is, Rodrigo, you've got a lot of friends. So there's been a kind gesture made by someone you know. Joel, do you want to take that one?
But Chuck?
Yes.
Yeah, he says, tell Rodrigo I'd be happy to look into integrating into Edge Wallet, as I've already written an EOS integration.
Oh, yeah. Chuck Williams?
Yes.
Yeah, go Chuck. Yeah.
Deep voice Chuck.
Chuck Superman Williams. Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, Chuck's still on the Discord, so Rodrigo, you should definitely hit him up. So sounds like he's already well experienced with Edge. And Joel is very friendly with the CEO at Edge as well, Paul Poi.
Yeah.
So, definitely make that happen, because Edge seems to be a very popular wallet as well, right? Because they're becoming more of a all-in-one, right? Because you can actually purchase cryptocurrency gift cards and stuff as well. So I think having that integration is going to increase that ecosystem and stuff as well, right? And just make you that much more attractive. I'm all about people working together and taking things forward. So so Chuck, definitely, I hope you take him up on that offer. Cool. So I'm just trying to think what else now. Does the EletroPay, do you have a website yet? Because I don't think I've seen a website. I've seen your social media and your lovely photos and pictures of your prototypes and development, but I'm guessing because you're not public yet, is this still something in the works?
We do have as soon as the podcast over, I'm gonna post a video with the English titles about doing the mini OTC on the NFC cards that we have already, so you guys can check it out at Pay Eletro. And we do have a website called EletroPay.com, which was just a simple website. We put it together last year. We just put some pictures and some name there, but our main websites will be launched in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Excellent. So
and there will be the function for people to order online. If your country has no exchange integration, you have access to our web wallets, which you can receive funds, but then unfortunately it will be up to you where you got to liquidate those funds into fiat if you need to.
Right. Would you prefer me not to put the URL in the?
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
go for it.
I'm looking at the website now. You're playing it down, just saying a few photos. This is much better than you made it out to be. Okay, well, there'll be a new website developed soon.
It looks great. I show it to some people already.
But for those that are watching this on YouTube, in the live chat right now, I'm just going to add the URL into the live chat. Open it up in another browser. Don't tune away from the live stream of the podcast. But yeah, definitely check that out. And you can see what I mean. The design is so unique with that neon light. Now, is that interchangeable, or is that actually how it comes? So the one I'm looking at right now, it's got Dash accepted here in neon dashy blue. But is that interchangeable, like with the lights? How does that work? Or is it just once you get that, you're stuck with it?
you'll be able to choose out of like 256 colors out of how you want to design the LED. It's basically an LED strip on the bottom of a flexiglass. But once we send the flexiglass, which actually we buy the flexiglass from Mitsubishi from Japan, because they make one that you cannot scratch. So this type of flexiglass, if you put your thumbs, you see your fingerprints mark, but you can't scratch. It's very scratch resistant, but it makes a glow. So if you send it with our tools that we have, I forgot the name of we bought a huge machine there that kind of drills. So as soon as the LED lights goes through the flexiglass and reflects into the logo, it kind of glows. It makes a glow. So, but you'll be able to customize the color. People will be able to customize. We have to change the flexiglass and stuff.
But even the message, so like one day I can have Dash accepted here, the next day like Bitcoin accepted here. Is that how it works, or is it you just stuck with that one message?
Well, it's we want to put EletroPay on the units, but the exchange, of course, will have the first call and say what they want to accept it there. I don't want to be the ones, for example, I see that this has a huge potential, because if we have to make a single coin just for Dash, right? We can make it like 1,000 units for less than $100, which is fine. But I don't want to be the one presenting a proposal to buy units from my own company, which I don't think the masternodes will like that. But other community members can, get 100, a few 100 units, because I think this is a good way to come to a merchant and say, hey, there it is. That's the setup. It's on the top of your counter. You can start accepting Dash. There's the printing receipt functionality, and you have access to the web wallet, or we can maybe integrate with other services and other wallets as well in the future. So I'll leave up to the community to say, hey, we want this in our community here in Thailand, in Venezuela, in Colombia, in Nigeria. We have great communities everywhere.
Can you tell us a bit more about the team behind it? Because we're very familiar with yourself, but I'm just looking at the website now, and you've got 5 people listed. So I want people to understand this isn't a one-man band show. This is a fully fledged. This is a legitimate, movement. A lot of time, research, and development has gone into this. And I see you've got some prominent people here, like located around the world. So you just want to go through some of the team members.
Flamir. Let's start with Nelson. So Nelson, I bumped into him. He was a fan of my channel about 1 year ago. He told me, hey, I own about 300 parking systems in Brazil. I have a factory in China. He makes all the hardware for parking, the token where you put your card, validate, the things go up and down, the payment system and the cashier. He's like, I want to get out of crypto. What can we do? I'm like, listen, we need a POS. So I came up with the countertop idea. He designed it. He did everything. I'm just the pretty face. I don't know if I can say that, but I'm just a pretty face.
No, trust me, you can get away with that.
Right. So at the same time, about a year before that, I knew another guy, excellent developer. His name is Nilber, right? The guy has excellent programming coding skills. He had an exchange that had about, I think, 25 tokens already, including Dash. And I was trying to get him to, hey, let's promote you. He's a very shy guy, didn't want to be on video. He ended up actually closing down the exchange, and it was just selling the exchange as a white label around. So once we come to a point, Nelson was like, hey, we need a server to run all this. And I'm like, I have the perfect guy. So Nilber jumped on board with the project. He was the one who developed the NFC technology and made the web wallets extremely. And actually, we call him Master Nilber because he just finished his master's degree into computer engineering. So the guy's good. So Flamir was a big fan of the channel, lives in Switzerland. I forgot about that. How could I forget about that? So the handheld units, thanks to Flamir as well, we already have up and running WePay and Alipay from China. So we are about to close a partnership with one airport in Europe. They want for the WePay and the Alipay functionality for all the Chinese guests that come through the airport and want to pay straight with the WePay app. But also there'll be Dash, Bitcoin, and Ethereum as an option of payment into those wallets. So this is all thanks to Flamir in Switzerland. He's the one actually who opened our business in Liechtenstein. So he jumped on board right away. We have Sinclair, which is now running the operations in Brazil, and hopefully very soon in Latin America. Extremely a smart entrepreneur, spirit guy. We have our lawyer that's not there. Kameda has a team of 5 developers that are not there yet. Nilber has a team of 5 developers that are not there yet. And that's how we're growing. So on the new website, you guys will be able to see everybody there.
Man, this is excellent. So there's already a European airport that's interested in taking delivery of these devices. And it's so great as well, because we've seen Alipay and WeChat or WePay, their version, come around, because even Europe's been talking about that a lot, because these Chinese tourism is like booming, with Chinese tourists going all over the shop. And of course over there, they've got literally hundreds of millions of the population using these payment solutions. So that's amazing, and it's a great avenue to open people up, increase that accessibility. That's what it's all about. And if you're getting into an airport, and I'm hoping it's going to be a number of merchants within that airport, that really sends a loud message. It reminds me of that integration, Joel. Do you remember there was the Brisbane airport in Australia that onboarded all those merchants taking a cryptocurrency, and it made big news. It really did make big news.
Yeah, well, and this is for any exchange who wants to partner with us to provide fiat liquidity. Our codes are already on GitHub. It's been there for a couple months already. It's all open source. People can take a look. Developers will understand this in a blink, that they will be able to understand how they can connect it to our server and how the system works, and we can take from there.
Excellent. Right. Okay. So let's move on. So we've been talking about BizDev, EletroPay, and business development. You jet setting around the world, representing Dash at conferences, networking, working on integrations, partnerships, flying the flag for Dash. But I want to get back to your bread and butter, and I want to show my gratitude to you and my appreciation, because I actually think you do a stellar job day in, day out, representing Dash, where it started on the Dash Brazil channel. And I watch your videos, I like them, and you of course you're repping the Dash News articles and stuff as well. I just want, if people haven't watched your videos yet, they should. You do videos mainly in Portuguese. I've seen Spanish, and occasionally at conferences you do English interviews where it's necessary, right?
Yes, which I have one more interview to post from the chief strategist from Binance. Will be probably as soon as I go back home. He was in Brazil, and I got him on camera to talk about Binance Latin America strategy, which they are actually looking to Brazil as well, which is great. But yeah, I've been creating content. So as a YouTuber, which is I call myself a YouTuber. That's what I am, right? I've learned a lot, because if I make a 15 minutes video talking about Dash, I have 300 views. If I make a 15-minute videos talking about Bitcoin this, Ethereum that, this bank system, that country, and then I sneak Dash news in between, I got 1,000 views per day. So that's how the channel's been growing, right? I don't want to talk about Dash to Dash people. So I brought a big audience. The best is when I criticize pyramid schemes in Brazil. I have 8,000 views in one day. It's amazing. They all argue on the chat. People complain. They fight. But this brings visibility, because Google algorithm pretty much is a bitch, right? They want to see thumbs down. They don't like videos with thumbs up. They want to see a good balance of thumbs up and down, because if there's no discussion, it's not a relevant video. So doing so, we have the I call the Good Morning Crypto, where I give the latest news. So on the news, I show always Dash Force news, Paga con Dash news from Colombia's Twitter feed, Dash Pay's Twitter feed, Thailand's Twitter feed, Nigeria Twitter feed, and I show the community in Brazil, like, look, guys, Dash community in the world. Sorry if I forgot about any other community. I can't wait for the community in Iran to start producing media. They just got approved now. I can't wait to say, hey, listen, Iran, man, those guys are in Turkey as well. So I show Brazilians how strong and powerful is the community around the globe through pictures. And I see like some African meetups, like some meetups in Africa that I'm like, man, look at this. And then I see like George putting tons of pictures of merchants being accepting Dash and videos, and now Dash aid. I'm like, look at all the materials. So I intercalate major news about Libra's got to take over the planet. By the way, Dash is already working. Check it out, Colombia. Check it out, Venezuela. So it's been a good flow. And now I start getting reporters to do news on events that I can't attend. So I have 3 reporters. I just got a lawyer as well. She had a small YouTube channel. She was doing okay. I'm like, listen, you know what you're talking about. You know crypto, and I need girls to be on the channel. I need women. I need the female contingency here because it's just a guy's business still. So now she has a 2-minute talk where she teaches legal aspects of crypto in Brazil. So this managed to grab people's attention, because if I do an interview that's 15 minutes, people watch 4 or 5. But if I talk about news and then I interview in between and then more news and then a little part of a lecture, they watch the entire 15 minutes, and Google likes it and ranks the YouTube channel higher.
Excellent. Okay, well, and that YouTube channel is Dash Brazil.
Dash correct? Dinheiro Digital. Dash Digital Cash in Portuguese, yeah.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you've shifted from covering Dash to shilling altcoins. Just kidding with you. I'm just giving because Dash News has tried various strategies as well to expand our reach beyond that teeny little Dash bubble to cover more relevant topics. And sometimes people say, "Oh, why am I reading about this? Why do I care about the Lightning Network not working?" And it's like, well, if you read the article down there, it says Dash this, that, and it's like sometimes, and that's one thing I noticed. So I did an interview last night. I was on Colin Enstead's show, Calling It Like It Is, who's a big Bitcoin Cash dude. And we just chat about all kinds of stuff. And a bunch of them now know a whole lot about Dash. And then earlier that day, I released an interview I did with someone from the Particle community, which is a decentralized marketplace. And then I got into their Discord and they're like, oh, yay. And then they're throwing me tips and they're like sharing out this video and subscribing to the Dash News YouTube channel and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I think that Dash is a decentralized autonomous organization. Sometimes it's a little too autonomous, though. Sometimes we go, oh, we got our money from the treasury. We just need to work on the Dash community. Sometimes we don't get out of the house enough and go talk to other people. And the rest of the crypto community is very, except for like the Bitcoin maximalists maybe, but the rest of the crypto community is very much more inclusive. And Dash is kind of by its nature, but doesn't need to be as much. So we need to get out of our bubble. We need to talk about more people. We need to talk about Libra. We need to talk about other things and actually get the message out and get comparisons out, because no one's going to just go like, hey, I'm going to look for the blue cult. I'm going to find the blue cult and all their people and just like they don't need to care. Oh, I thought that was a scam anyway. But when they know someone who's talking about the stuff they care about, interesting opinions, and he's one of their people, he's one of these Dash people, and he starts throwing in stuff. Now all of a sudden, you get him hooked. It's all part of the devious strategy, which is known as kind of talk to everyone.
Yeah. Well, just to let you guys know, I was just talking to Rossello a couple days ago, and he's actually one of the guys who is in probably will be one of the main guys, if everything goes right, running a Libra node in Latin America, right? So
really?
He's pretty excited about that.
That's an exclusive thing, right? Because I remember, well, I'm just going off the articles and publications that looks at the white paper.
Exclusive if you have money.
Yeah, because they were just like, well, this is going to be opening up to tech giants and maybe central banks and things like that. So the fact that Rosilio is actually, so hang on, so is this concrete, or is he in the running for it? Because
he's in the running for it. He's got to be opening his digital bank in Brazil soon. So he's got to be a banker, which I make fun of him every day.
Wow.
But he's got to be no, because he needs, I mean, all the banks are closing the bank accounts of all the exchanges.
But his motto is F the banks, right?
Well, but he won in court. He won in federal court the right to open a bank account and keep his bank account open, and with that he can actually have a digital bank attached to it.
So I'm trying to understand this, right? Because most crypto people I know are kind of like anti-Libra, and knowing Rosilio, because we've had him on the channel before, I know he's very anti-bank and he's very forward-thinking. So what's the angle here? Like, does he just want that inside track? Is it to expose Libra, or is this a genuine business move? Do you know?
He mentioned to me he's on advanced talks about running a Libra node. That's a node. That's all I know. And for the banks, and he's the guy who can pull it off. In Latin America, probably he's the only guy that can pull this off. And he also mentioned that his bank will be providing fiat liquidity to exchanges that don't have a bank account.
Wow. Okay, well, I know he definitely has a reputation, and he definitely does what he says, and he wears that on his T-shirt as well quite a lot of the time. Right. Okay, Rodrigo, let's wrap this up. So, where should people go to follow you? Promote your social media. Go for it.
All right. So the channel is in Portuguese. YouTube Dash Dinheiro Digital. Same for Twitter and Instagram. My personal social media is Ambrissi. EletroPay Twitter, which you guys please follow. It's @PayEletro, no C, Eletro. And our website is eletropay.com, which will be brand new in a couple of weeks.
Fantastic. Joel, any final thoughts, questions, or wrap it up?
Stay dashy.
Stay dashy. There you go. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Right. No. Thanks, guys. Okay. Thank you.
Final comment is dashconvention.com.
Yeah.
It's going to be epic. You're going to get to see these cheery old people here. You're going to get to do all kinds of fun stuff. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be epic. This is how the Dash community flexes. And yes, check out the EletroPay card and point of sale system, etc., etc., etc. Dash Convention. Don't forget it.
Link is in the chat right now. Oh. Okay, and Joel, would you mind taking us out? Rodrigo, I know you are in Brazil right now, visiting family. You're more than welcome to join the after party. I suspect, though, that you have other plans. But
I do. My dad's waiting right here.
Yeah, worries.
I saw him walk by the window a couple times.
Okay, well, in that case, speaking of the after party, Joel, would you like to take us out?
Yes. Do you know what the after party is? If you don't, go home. No, what the after party is just like this, except much more informal. A bunch of people, not just guests of honor. And yeah, we get to just chat for hours on end about just about anything. That's where we brainstormed the Dash Convention / Dashtoberfest. That's how it all came to be. So if you want to be in on cool stuff like this, you want to jumpstart, be part of the jumpstarting of the Dash community into the new, I don't know, next glorious 1,000 years of crypto dominance, whatever it is, then you definitely want to get in there. How do you get in there? Well, first you got to be in the Cool Kids Club, the Dash Talk Discord. You go to staydashy.com. Boom, there we go. He timed it very well. Staydashy.com. And then you join the best Discord around for Dash, and you start to just ask around, hey, where's the after party at? Is there an after party? I heard about the after party. Can you get in the after party? And one of us, either Mark Mason or myself, the desert links as I go by on Discord, will let you in. Now, we got a question. Do you need a camera to join the after party? No, it's encouraged, but it's a voice chat at least. So if you just have your little like muffled like little Dash logo thing or whatever up, that's fine as well. Just as long as you can converse. It's a party. You're chatting. It's not just a chat room. Some people do join and listen on voice chat alone, and they just type in the little chat box what they want to do. They're mostly like lurkers. So yes, there we go. A famous lurker commented that. So yes, you can get in the after party. Make sure you do it. It's going to be a good time. I can personally guarantee it, but don't take me to court if you weren't satisfied.
Excellent. Well, Rodrigo, you've been very popular, been monitoring the live chat. People just saying, please get Rodrigo in the after party. Bring your dad as well. Well, we've kind of already answered that question. I'll let Rodrigo talk to his dad about that, but I suspect they have other plans. But, there's always other after parties. So I'm sure Rodrigo in the future will be attending those. Once again,
you guys in Switzerland.
Yeah, it will be. And of course, if you're in the community, come to the Dash Convention Europe and get to meet Rodrigo, ourselves, everything else. Once again, I would like to just thank Rodrigo for coming on the podcast. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so that was episode 119 of the Dash News podcast. If you enjoyed this video, please like this video, smash the dash, and don't forget to share and subscribe. And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, why wait? Hit the notification bell if you want to be alerted about future Dash video content. It's good. It's Dash-tastic. It's Dashy stuff. Anyway, it's Friday night on my side of the pond. I wish you all have a fantastic Dash-tastic weekend. Stay positive. Stay humble. But most importantly, stay dashy.
Thanks, guys.
Wow.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Woo!